Welcome to the inaugural broadcast of the Outspoken Citizen channel. I'm Tyrone, and I will be your host. So today we are talking about a controversial figure in Canadian politics. There are far more important things in politics to talk about, but I guess I'm going to start with this because it is a hot topic and also something that I think still matters. Jessica Yaniv was recently accused of trying to share child porn, sexual harassment of minors. That is the situation here today, as you can see on the headline in the side window right over here. Now, it is perturbing to me. I am not going to lie that that is the case, combined especially with a few other facts. Number one being that Jessica has a human rights tribunal case open to try to force some estheticians to wax his balls, which harkens me back to the wedding cake fiasco that we had, which we all know the end result of the Supreme Court there. So it's really just blah to me. So I'm going to really try to stick to the point here and really get to the point, not vary off too much in segues. I wanted to talk a little bit before I dive into the article about Lindsay Shepherd. So Lindsay Shepherd was recently permanently suspended off of Twitter for an interaction she had with Jessica Yaniv. And that interaction was honestly largely equitable between the two of them. Jessica actually being the aggressor, which makes it really puzzling to me. But she came out and basically made fun of a congenital uterine disorder that she has, which prevents her from having a baby with ease. She can have many miscarriages. She could go probably through a couple months of carriage and then suddenly miscarry. So a lot of heartbreak involved with that. And so something that could really fuel someone's depression, anxiety, suicide. I'm not saying Lindsay Shepherd would have those symptoms, but doing that kind of behavior online with anybody is unacceptable for those reasons, in that's a human right. Like, treating people respectably. You know, if you're so concerned about human rights as per your Wax My Balls Human Rights Tribunal case, then why are you doing this? So anyways, it's jiving on the internet and people jab at each other and stuff like that. It happens. So, I mean, I'm willing to accept that. It's just a reality with people, as we are largely irrational. Now, having said that, she replied in kind and said, at least I have a uterus, since Jessica Yaniv is, of course, a transitioning woman. So from man to woman. Which gets me to the point, so if we go back a few years and we're going back into and that's what got Lindsay Shepherd, by the way, permanently suspended, was saying that. And actually, before I dive right in, I just want to point out that I think that's a double standard being applied by social media companies who just don't have the wherewithal to actually step up to the plate and give due criticism to a community that holds all too much arbitrary power. So I'll say that. I think that is somewhat of a concerning part of society for me right now. I have no ill will towards transgender people. Do as you please. I'm still going to wake up in the morning, eat my food, go for breakfast, meet up with my friends, go to work, go home, go to bed, and it won't affect me a lick. But by the same token, these sort of symptoms that we're seeing as a part of that whole movement, a little disturbing to me. But having said that, we're going to move into the article here, which involves a few women, now women, were teenagers when these accusations occurred. So we have a Jessica Rumpel providing explosive allegations of this interference, and corroborated by an Ashley Smith, as well as a woman from Paris, France, named, she'll be in here somewhere, yes, Louise Noussac. So, actually, Jessica recruited people to harass Louise on his part because he was a moderator for a Facebook group that was made for a pop group that was popular with young people named Cimarelli. Now, there's an image here of Jessica when he was still a male, with the group Cimarelli, and he used to use this to show young women that he knew them, and it would basically give him an in to talk to them and say, hey, I can get you familiar, you can meet the band. And in most cases that would be a harmless thing to do. Getting them to meet the band and engaging with the fan base is the idea. But as we will see in this story, that was not his whole intent. Right here we see an interaction, actually, just real quick, of Jessica, then Jonathan, interacting with, I believe that was there was Louise here. So this woman is standing up for Louise, and he is saying he's going to make a Jessica Todd style video against her, which, channeling the video of a woman or a young girl who committed suicide in itself, is disgusting. But having said that, so he continues on in cyberbullying. So Ashley Smith says she was afraid to fight back and scared to say no because I wanted Cimarelli to like me, and I didn't know what was happening was wrong. So here is some Facebook chats of Jonathan, Jessica, asking Ashley to lie for him, and trying to basically help him bully Louise. And there's some extra screenshots from later on in life to get what came after. Don't admit to any screenshots or tweets, it'll make me look bad. I mean, just all very shady type of behavior. So, by the way, I should mention that his discussions with this girl, she is 14 years old, this Ashley Smith. So, in one of the messages he says, I want to be really good friends with you, like really close. And asking the 14-year-old to tell them when she's got her period. So here's talking about the period. She's asking about how young she should ask the girls where she should go. Could she stand outside of the girls' bathroom? There, that's part right there. So then here's the disturbing one. So, ew, fuck, I just opened kid porn. Ew, I clicked on a link on FB. John, what the fuck? Don't click links on FB. Duh. It looks photoshopped. Probably is. Want to see? Of course not. She's a 14-year-old girl, and you are offering to send her child porn. You're the guy with the Human Rights Tribunal claim right now against some estheticians for not wanting to wax your balls. You're the guy that just got Lindsay Shepherd suspended from Twitter after you attacked her. You're the one that's sitting here trying to say that 12-year-old girls should be able to see transgender women with male genitals naked, and have no problem with that. Nobody agrees with that. That isn't reasonable. It is not reasonable. So it just gets even worse. He starts talking about if you were 2 years older, with you. You're sweet. You're very nice. Awkward. Virgin for life. My friend created that club. I support her. Go Ashley. So at the end of the day, it just got really weird. So then, do you find me attractive? All this stuff. You live in BC. Worst person to ask because I never focus on looks ever. Would you date a guy that wears pads? Like, just weird questions. Like, come on. So now he's talking about a girl who's 16, saying he really likes her. She's adorable. She likes me. It's cute, she says. I think she's a little misguided. She has a huge crush on her, and she's only 0.9 miles away. So, and then here she says, oh my god, you should tell her you got the Christina Lynn Cimarelli to follow her. She knows. So it's like, oh man, I just sit there and go like, she bullies people online constantly. She is running these programs in her province, and people are supporting her, and all this kinds of stuff. I mean, it's just all of this sort of toxic stuff that we're talking about. Feminist art exhibit. So there's another little thing that I saw today. So why would they inflict a feminist art exhibit on children? Like, what is going on here? Why? Why is this necessary? Why is this necessary? Like, I'm sorry for the nudity, but apparently they thought that it was okay for children. So it should be okay for the internet, right? Social medias companies support everything that these people are doing. Obviously, as has been shown by the banning of Lindsay Shepard instead of Jessica Yaniv. So, like, what is going on? We have kids being told that they can change their gender before they're even old enough to make the decision of being with someone like Jonathan Yaniv. We're all disgusted by that fact. And if you aren't, well then, I'm sorry. But this person's intent, even with that 16-year-old, even if he was in his low 20s or whatever, I mean, if the intent was to get her to go to university and not use her as a sexual object, maybe I wouldn't hate the person as much. So my main point here is that this whole thing is like, social media companies are allowing this. Social media companies are accepting this. And then if this video ever gets taken down because I have this image up on this video, that's just honestly supremely asinine. And that's the state that I want to end this, because I'm just being serious. Like, I am just being honest and pragmatic about what we're going through as a society, and being honest and earnest about having the conversation. Because if you can't accept the fact that some people feel this way, then why should they accept the facts of what you want to do? Because that is a double standard in and of itself as well. Thank you. This has been the Outspoken Citizen, and I hope you all have a great day. Every one of you, even the transgendered ones, I do love you. I have no ill will against you if you are a decent human being, unlike this Mr. Yaniv. Mrs. Yaniv. Yaniv. Have a nice day.